You hear it, wow. You hear it at every wedding. In sickness and in health. For richer or for poorer. Today, Father George talked about the vinegar moments. For some reason, everybody likes to talk about how horrible life can be, and they'd like to do it at a wedding. That's because it's easy to be around other people when times are good. When there's order, when there's health, when there's prosperity, it's easy to see the good in other people. As you guys got a taste of last night, the trick is you have to want to be with that other person when things aren't so great. As soon as you realize that you, the two of you, are the answer to each other's problems, a real partner and a resource, the sooner you'll find happiness. Mark has already been that person to so many people in this room. So Katie, you're really off to a good start. And enjoy your steak. No, really. I hear they're delicious. Thank you. Your wing staff, ladies and gentlemen. As I was saying, that smells delicious. No, I can't concentrate. Mark has already been that person to so many of us here. In just a few short years serving our country, he's amassed so many stories about where his quick wits or brute animal strength got his team out of trouble. But that reliability is not something that Mark learned in the military. That's something that he has brought to each and every friendship he has ever been in, except for Tom, who Mark threw off a roof. Now, for those of you who don't know, Mark and I knew each other when we were babies. We spent our entire childhood together. And so it's just natural that every time we get together, we tend to do some of the exact same things we did when we were kids. I think I make that easier for Mark because I still look the same as I did when I was 12. One of those things that we've always done together is rock climbing. It's a sport in which the stress levels and the danger are equal to the rewards. So it's very appropriate to talk about why we're married. Some of the jokes, by the way, are just for me. We were actually out here in California a couple of years ago, and we were climbing. We were about 200 feet up, and the sun was starting to go down. And we knew we had to get off the rocks, or else we'd have to huddle together for warmth in the frigid desert air. So, of course, we found the first way out, which was this giant funnel of rock. You can picture yourself standing on top of a giant oil funnel that drops down into a dark cave. Now, we've been climbing for 2.5 days, and my arms had really just had enough. I knew if I went down into that cave and there was no way out, it would be impossible for me to climb back up. So what Mark did, he volunteered to go first. He got all the way down and disappeared into the darkness. After a couple of minutes, I heard his signature giggle echo throughout the cave, and I knew he'd found us a way out. So he comes back to the hole, and he looks up, and he says, "Come on down." But after 2.5 days of climbing, my arms were having a lot of trouble supporting this massive frame. And what Mark did was he jumps up into this funnel, wedges himself against the rock, and looks at me and says, "Stand on my back." And I did, and he was able to lower me down so I could find a foothold and get out. Now, in that moment, there was no name calling. There was no doubting. There was no "I can't." That's the key. In that moment, there was 100% trust and respect by both people involved. Now, not only were we able to make it out just before the sun went down, but to me, Mark, that is the moment that defines our friendship. Now, Katie and Mark, you are about to have a lifetime of these defining moments. You will have every opportunity to make fun of each other, to doubt, to say, "I can't do this." But you'll make the right choice. You'll celebrate life's blessings together, and you'll turn to each other when one of you is weak. But the beautiful thing is you don't have to do it by yourselves. Here's 3 simple things every married couple needs to remember. And Mark, I made them all start with the same letter, so it's easy for you to follow along. The first one is family. Katie, you are about to join one of the best examples of family this world has ever known. I was watching the Discovery Channel the other day. They had this special on. They said in 2,000 years, the only thing left on this planet will be plant life and ashen burners. So you got that going for you. Now, Kate, I know that you weren't able to meet Mark's grandparents, but if you had seen the way that they set the bar for Mark and his family, the way they loved each other, the way they held hands as they walked out of the church every single Sunday, you would know the standard that they set for Mark and his family when it comes to staying together forever. The second is your friends. We all showed up for you here today. You need to continue to rely on us for years and years to come. You saw last night what happens when your friends are there to rely on you. I think it was Kent who was like, no problem, let's do this, let's grab some beer, let's get some wood, we got a bonfire. Friends have this way of injecting a much needed shot of levity, honesty, and joy into your lives, and that's exactly what a marriage means. No man is an island, and no marriage should be a either. And the last thing is faith. When you guys get yourself in a situation where your family and your friends can support you, but they can't give you the answers, I promise you right now, you will find those answers with God. It's tough to talk about nowadays, but you will find those answers with God. Keep him around with your friends too. Don't forget to thank him for the blessings that you have in each other. Okay? So to all of us, family and friends who traveled all this distance to be with you today, to God, who got us all here safely and will return us home safely as well. And to Mark and Katie, I want to thank you for showing us what life can be like when you find that true partner.
Thank you, Sean.